Yeah, there's a couple strategies I'm going to be speaking. I have three strategies that I like to use for building content, and just one that I think that doesn't anybody can do this one strategy that's been very powerful on my dog training side of things, on my dog training business,
Right.
and that's walking around a trade show and visiting the vendors and talking to them about their products.
Interviewing
And
them.
you can do that with your iPhone
Yeah.
in a wired or wireless mic. And it has been fantastic on the dog training side of things because you are going to get in somebody else's booth. They're more than happy to talk about their product. It provides content that the people on your page will want to see, right? Because especially dogs, if it's about dogs, people are passionate about their dogs.
Yeah.
So I'll go to a dog food company and say, let's talk about your food and why you think it's the best food on the planet and what ingredients you have in there and how you produce it and how you came up with the formulation and all that kind of stuff. And then while I'm there, I have my assistant get them to share our live feed to the company's Facebook page,
Right.
So that both the live feed and then the replay is on their Facebook feed. So now I'm in front of their audience, and that's really the key. Is that you want to spread out your word and your authority. And mine is the interviewer and dog trainer. And I mentioned tons of time Falco Canine Academy,
Yeah.
And dog training and reference Falco Canine Academy, and I'm doing it on their Facebook page. And then I go to the next one. Next one, it's dog shampoo. Paul Mitchell has dog shampoo, and they're at this trade show that I was at. And I'm now, same thing. She goes, okay, to one of their assistants, hey, we want to share this on your Facebook page, and then share it on their Facebook page. And now I'm live, and they have 50 Facebook pages. They have one for each state. So she wasn't able to do all 50, but they eventually shared it on all 50 of their Facebook pages.
Nice.
In every state that they have one. So I think that's a very powerful strategy, and getting past the nerves is the biggest thing. So I am actually, I was born shy, and it's taken a while for me to get to the point where I can kind of feel a little bit more comfortable in walking up to somebody and saying, hey, would you like to be on Falco Canine's Dog Talk Show or, the Healthy Dog Network? And feel that comfort of going there and acting as if I actually have a real TV show,
Yeah.
which this can now be considered a real TV show. But in the beginning, it wasn't that easy, right? I felt, it's just an internet-based Facebook thing. And but walking up and then having the camera or my phone on a tripod and the microphone with a little square thing on it, and then I have my assistant who goes and breaks the news that they're going to be interviewed on this new TV show. And as you get going, it gets easier and easier. And then I've had people actually chase me down, walking down an aisle at a trade show and say, hey, how come you're not interviewing us? We noticed that you're interviewing everybody around us, but you're not interviewing us. Because there's some that for me is not interesting. I'm not into the, the diamonds on the collar type of vendor,
Yeah.
but sometimes they'll chase me down, or the poodle groomer that makes the dogs pink and purple. I don't do that. But it's a powerful strategy, and there's a trade show for everything, right? There's real estate trade shows. There's doctor trade shows. There's internet hacking trade shows, and it's very, very powerful. And I actually go there now as press. I apply as press, and they want the press there, and They give me a press pass. And I walk in and go behind the scenes, and there's a press room that you get to go in and kind of keep your equipment and even do interviews if you want to do them inside the press room. And it's an easier than you think strategy that's very powerful and gets you in front of their audience. And some of those Facebook pages have millions of people in their Facebook pages.
Yeah, so, definitely getting connected with, when you're searching people out. I know one of the strategies I used when I was trying to get people on the show at the very beginning is I would go through all my friends list and find the people that had the largest number of friends. Because I'm looking for influencers and people that have, I can leverage, off of the number of people that they actually know, in hopes that, more people will see the show and it'll grow quicker. That was one of the strategies. And it's very similar to what you were doing, right? Finding people that have, or businesses that actually have large following. And I know, do you know Keith Shannon from Ontario? He had the podcast show. So he's actually going to be restarting his podcast show, but not as the expert authority. He's actually going to be doing it with local businesses and actually going in and interviewing, working with local businesses as opposed to, entrepreneurs all over the world. He's just going to go into their place of business and do just what you were talking about. Instead of doing it at a trade show, he's actually doing it with the business owners. And so that will actually promote, because Keith has a carpet business, a local carpet business, and that's just one way for him to get more exposure for his carpet business by starting that podcast up again and working with other entrepreneurs and local businesses talking about their business.
Yep. And if you're a coach, this Super Zoo was just, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months ago. So it was after Facebook Live started. So it's only been, like I said, 4 or 5 months. So I'm in Vegas. I'm here going to these vendors. And that's where you realize how few people, if you're a coach that's teaching how to do marketing and social media or write their own book or that kind of stuff, this is where you're going to really notice how few entrepreneurs know anything. I'm saying anything about social media, about video, about writing a book, and the power of having a lead magnet, how to repurpose their content. They know nothing. Remember, these people have spent all of their time creating their product, right? And putting time into developing the product and the packaging and all that kind of stuff. But they don't have the knowledge or the information that they need to be successful in social media. So by doing your interview and showing them Facebook Live and the power of using Facebook Live to do an interview show, for instance, you can talk to them about what they can do within their own product and their own corporation or company. And now you have a coaching client because you're able to show them that. So I think that's very powerful. Nabi just mentioned the JT Ippolito. I don't know, John, if you follow JT at all.
Yeah, I know who
but he runs in our circles. But he does a lot of trade shows, and I've noticed that too. Because Vegas is the mecca of trade shows, everything there. And he walks around and does that. He interviews people there at all those trade shows.
Yeah, and I reached out to JT to be on the show. Actually, I haven't heard back from him, but maybe he's watching.
He's too busy doing trade shows.
Yeah, he's too busy doing trade shows. But I see Alan Brown has joined us. He said Alan says this is the new TV. Alan has Crusher TV, for those who don't know, and Alan's actually going to be a guest on my show tomorrow. Talking about his
I'm way more
journey.
comfortable calling this an actual a TV show. It's like, this is, like you said, it is TV. I've had people, Melody Rush one time when I was on, she said she's watching it on her TV through her Apple TV. And so she goes, we're watching it on our TV. We're watching you on TV right now. So this really is a new TV. Great for him bringing that up.
Yeah, for sure. I think traditional cable's going by the wayside. I don't even have traditional cable. I get if I want to watch a show, I just stream it live. There's websites where you can stream it live. I pay a few bucks, a month, and I can get all the TV shows I want if I want to watch TV, or there's Netflix or all those other things. So I think the typical cable's going by the wayside. I have all my TV, I have some big screen TVs that I bought purposely for the show, and they're all connected to computers. So if I ever want to watch TV, I just turn something on the computer, whether it be YouTube or Facebook Live or whatever, and I just watch it on the TV.
Yep. So I have 5 kids, and when they're all here, and it's TV time, because we kind of regulate when their TV time is. They all, obviously, because they're different ages, want to watch different things. Yeah. So we got one watching TV on my phone, one watching TV on my iPad, one watching TV through Apple TV on the TV, and then I have my iMac, which is in my office, and the other one's on that TV, or that computer watching TV. So it's the new TV. So what we're doing is we are. What did somebody call me the other day? I forgot. What is it? What is it when you're one of the beginners, one of the
pioneer?
Huh?
You're the
pioneer. Yeah, so you're the pioneer in this new Facebook Live TV show stuff. And I just kind of laughed. I've never really think that's true, but we're trying to get the word out that this is where you need to be, and you need to get started now.
So how specifically? I'll ask a question for my show. How specifically have you transitioned from just doing your live show to actually getting on stage to talk about Facebook Live? So what happened to get you to that point?
Well, the day that Facebook Live came out, it's one of those few times that I've actually took action at the moment something started, right? Usually I kind of wait around to see what's going to happen. But I just had this feeling, since Facebook Live or Facebook, it was so powerful, and Facebook ads are so powerful to target your audience, that Facebook Live would be something that needed to be looked into and taken seriously. So right away, I began putting together that training site and putting videos up and that kind of stuff. And within 4 days, I had probably 20 videos already created. I actually went to Vegas, rented or went to my timeshare out there, and sat in that room and for 3 days did nothing but videos. I don't know if you're not in the program, but when you're in the program, you can see I'm in this new location, and that's my timeshare, creating the videos on how to use some of that, because I feel that I have to be away from everything in order to do something that fast. So created the membership site. Once I created the membership site, then I started kind of exploring in some of the other Facebook pages and groups and things like that. And lucky enough, the plan lined up that an opportunity just got posted. Somebody said they needed a speaker for the social media conference in San Diego, and her name's Eva. And Eva posted, "Hey, I need a speaker." I didn't know who Eva was, and I said, "Hey, Eva, I'm an expert in Facebook Live and helping people create their own TV show using Facebook." And she goes, "Oh, well, give me some more information." So I sent her a little bit more information. I said, "I have a membership site, #1 best-selling author, all the stuff that we've been trained to do over the last couple of years." And she said, "Wow, we would love to have you." And I was like, as a matter of fact, we're going to put you on first. And I go, "Oh, crap." I guess I better act like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And so put together a keynote presentation and used a little bit of another speech that I gave a few months earlier, and went out there, and people loved it. And so from that, I got invited to speak at another engagement in San Diego. It's for their Chamber of Commerce, for the Chamber of Commerce of San Diego, and some other invited guests, and the mayor is going to be there and some other people. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. That's coming up on the 17th. And then from there, I actually approached one of our friends and said, "Hey, I know you have this live event coming up. I would surely love to have an opportunity to speak on the stage." And he said yes. And so it's I guess the strategy or the movement in being on stage, there's got to be that you have to take that action. You have to look for the opportunities, and then put yourself out there and be willing to say you're an expert. If you don't, there's no reason why they would have you on stage, right? Yeah. And so you have to have the gumption, you have to have something to offer, right? And so make sure you have that, because that's why I wanted to put the membership together first, and then have that have all my #1 best-selling stuff out there. Yeah. And then actually follow through and actually do it. And then once you do that, now they recorded it. I paid $99 for a recording of the social media conference that I did. Yes. And so now I have that. When somebody says, "Hey, we're looking for speakers," I send them the link to that particular video and show them what it is that I do. So nice. There you go. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's an event down in San Diego I think you'll be at in December, and I was asked if I was going, and I said, yeah. First question out of my mouth to my coach, who asked me if I was coming to the event, was, "Yeah, you want me to speak?"
Yeah.
So it's like,
got to do it.
I asked. I haven't heard back yet, but you're never gonna get it if you don't ask.
Yep, you got to do it. You gotta put it out there. And that's the thing. I mean, if you are shy, and if you're like him and Han, I don't look good on camera, I don't like the sound of my voice and that kind of stuff, you're gonna have a really have a tough time getting started. Yeah. And so you have to. The fear is always the thing that's going to hold you back. The fear of failure, the fear of what your friends and family are going to say. Just know that a lot of your friends and family, because they love you, are going to tell you not to do it.
That's right.
And really, it's because they love you that they tell you that, and know that it seems weird. And you're going to go, "Hey, why do you say that? I can do this." But just know ahead of time that if they love you, they're probably going to say that don't put yourself out there, because they don't want you to fail. But once you get past that, then you just got to get past the fear of speaking in public, which is always what they say. That's the #1 fear of most people, is speaking in public. And just, but you just, once I immerse myself in these subjects. So in dog training, I immersed myself for about 4 or 5 years in the subject of training dogs and people. Right. And so you just want to do that. Now, I don't take as much time. Well, obviously, Facebook Live came out, and the next day I already called myself an expert, and it had only been existing for maybe a week. But I immersed myself. I had some training in other areas on video and things like that. So it helped to be able to say that, and then you just pull it off, and then you just got to do it.
Excellent. So Alan Brown says great advice. A few things. You got to have gumption, have something to offer, and follow through. Are 3 points that he makes about what we were just talking about. And for sure, I'm a very, yeah, that was, I think that was on mine. I'm a very proud introvert. So I look at a lot of people, and there's nobody. And it's so cliche to say, well, if I can do it, anybody can do it, right? Because I have more fears than a lot of people that aren't introverts. A lot of extroverts, but they still can't do it. So, you just basically have to get over whatever fear it is. It's all mindset anyway. You just get through that mindset piece. Actually, I am more comfortable talking on stage and talking in front of a camera than I am in a group of about 4 or 5 people. Funny as that is, I have no problem doing these shows or being interviewed on TV or being on stage, doing a presentation on stage on a subject that I'm passionate about and have a great deal of knowledge about. I have no problem doing that. But get me in a group of 4 or 5 people, I probably won't say 3 words. Strange.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know that feeling. It is a funny thing. I got the opportunity at Caesar's Palace to speak in front of nearly 800 people, but I was talking about dogs, and I had a dog there that I was demonstrating with, and everything went perfectly. And it just, sometimes, the excitement and the exhilaration that you get from doing stuff like that actually feeds into what it is you're doing. And so I found that was more exciting and so rewarding, but when you're talking to an individual, you're worried about what that one person thinks, I think, or it's weird, but I understand what you're saying, that one-on-one or one-on 4 or 5, that it's too close and too intimate, and that intimacy causes a little bit of nervousness. But on stage, it's like I'm talking to just a big crowd of people. And for me, when I get the first laugh, because I like to be kind of humorous.
Yeah.
And once I get that first laugh, that gets it for me. If I can get them to laugh or applaud really early, then I'm okay after that the nervousness kind of goes away.
Excellent. Well, Andy, we're over time on my show, so I'm going to thank you for joining me. It was great having you on again, and I just want to thank you for being on the show. And it was great experiment that we managed to figure out, and my strategy, my show flow there was no show flow for today's show, unlike my normal show, but that's okay too sometimes. But thanks for being on the show. It was a great topic. Definitely look forward to catching up with you again in the near future. So again, I just want to thank you for being on the show, and for those watching, just stick around for a few minutes for my closing remarks.
All right. Well, thank you, John. It really was fun, kind of figuring this out and getting it done, and that we were able to pull it off. That I was able to even get you on camera, because again, I should have known that the view that you had would allow us to do this. But it's great. I love when we can do something just kind of on a whim, and we figure stuff out. And it actually was very, very cool. So thank you for bringing it up this morning.
All right. Excellent. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Take care. All right.
Well, thanks for joining me on today's John A. McCabe Show, where we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers, get seen, get heard, get noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. Now, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, if you're someone who's looking to take your business to the next level and want to get some coaching advice, why not apply to be a guest on today's show? Now, for most entrepreneurs, we want to create a life of our own, create our own path, and do what we can to reach our own desired outcome, which is generally freedom. Freedom to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it. A life that's full of options and choices, where we worry less about money and more about the quality of time that we spend with others. Now, a great way to make that happen is to leverage other people's knowledge, time, and skill sets. Step 1 to reaching our freedom life is to realize that you can't do it alone. Working with a coach or being involved in masterminds is a great way for entrepreneurs to move their business forward. Now, a coach can help you shorten the time frame to get you from where you are to where you want to be, while being part of a mastermind is meant to bring entrepreneurs together, all with the goal of helping each other move forward with their business. Now, the second step to creating the life you envision for yourself as an entrepreneur is to implement systems into your business so you can streamline your operations, leverage systems, and free up your time to focus on your family, having fun, and the highest leverage activities in your business. You know, the activities that get you the biggest return on your time invested, the ones that truly make you money. Now, sometimes we just don't know what systems we need, how to implement those systems, or even have the time to find out what is needed. Now, working with a coach or consultant that understands, uses, and specializes in systems that can streamline your operations can help save you time, aggravation, and make you a lot more money. Now, for example, having a system or strategy that allows you to leverage just 15 hours of your time into enough repurposed content to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device is a great example of leverage. Now, just imagine a system where you invest just 15 hours of your time, and the end result is you're a #1 best-selling author. You have enough content that's going to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. You have a successful podcast. Now it's automatically attracting more attention, giving more value, and generating more leads, which enables you to attract an abundance of paying customers. Now this is also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now to find out more about the Authority Acceleration Blueprint coaching program or mastermind, then contact me via my website at johnamccabe.com or connect with me through my show's Facebook page. Now again, thank you for joining us on today's show, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show when I have another great guest on discussing their business and accelerating their authority. So have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.